Hey guys, it's Mercier. I want to thank you so much for checking out my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. For those coming back, I know I've been gone for a minute, but hopefully for at least the next month, I'll be back. I'm going to try to do Vlogmas. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if I can actually at least even vlog every single day or have a video up every single day until the 25th. But other than that, just keep watching the video if you like to see how I like to do my foundation routine, my everyday look that I like to do. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Alright, bye. Alright, so I've already done my eyebrows, and if you would like to see an updated eyebrow routine, just let me know. But other than that, I do have an eyebrow routine video if you'd like to see that. So the first thing that I like to do is always prime my face. I like to use Becca's Ever Matte Poreless Primer, priming perfector. I have really oily skin, especially like around my T-zone, and if I do not prime, especially underneath my under eyes and around my mouth, it creases quite a lot and it moves, and this helps my makeup to stay on matte all day, and it helps it not to my makeup to move around. I mostly like to put this in like my T-zone, so like my nose, underneath my eyes, but there are some days where if I feel extra, I will put it all over. And I might put a little bit of it in my eyelid as well, but since I'm doing like an everyday look, I don't really like to wear eyeshadow, so it doesn't really matter. And my upper lip and my smile lines. And now I just wait for this to dry. The next thing I would do is apply my foundation, and like my favorite foundation for like everyday wear is the All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation by NARS, and I use the shade Khartoum. I may use like a pump and a half on my whole face. I don't really like to put like full coverage foundation because I find that my concealer, like my highlight concealer, tends to do the job for me. I like to use my Real Techniques buffing brush to blend that all out. So the next thing that I do after I'm done my foundation, once I'm happy with it and I'm done blending it out, I like to go ahead and highlight. And I like to highlight with Girl Pro Conceal Concealer in the color Dark Cocoa. And I like to squeeze out a little bit. Either like put it on like another palette, like a, I don't know what they call it, like a palette where you put stuff and mix, or I just put it on the back of my hand. I'm going to use this Morphe small concealer brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit of that and go ahead and put that underneath my under eye. I find that this alone doesn't really do a lot of brightening, but it does cover up my dark under eye circles quite well. And I like to kind of blend it out a little bit as well. Kind of up the side to my nose and my inner tear duct. I don't really like to bring out my the highlight like past my eyes because I find my face is already quite round, so when I do that, it kind of makes it like my face wider, so I like to like go right there and stop. My cupid's bow, my chin area, down the bridge of my nose, and my forehead. And I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques buffing brush again and kind of blend out the edges. Next, I'm actually gonna go in with because I find that concealer that I just did, it more like, it's like a neutral color. I want something to just brighten up a little bit. So I like to use this MaryKay TimeWise Luminous-Wear liquid foundation, and it's the shade Bronze 7. It has more of a yellow undertone, so it makes it more brighter, but I don't like to use this alone because I don't find it very like, it doesn't give a lot of coverage. So I like to use that so I like to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer for more of the coverage and to kind of hide the dark circles, and then I like to use this to actually like highlight and brighten up, but I only use like a little bit. And I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques buffing brush again. And then after I'm done highlighting, I like to contour. And I like to contour with Sephora's Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer. And this is the color Devil's Food. And it's like a really warm, dark brown shade that I like. So I like to do that on my cheeks. And I'm just gonna go in and use the same buffing brush that I like to use for about everything. And next I'm going to set my highlight, and I like to use the Mercier translucent loose setting powder, and I'm actually almost out, but I like to just kind of shake some out. And I like to use this, it's like a small little powder blush, I guess, powder brush by Morphe, and I like to just kind of tap that in. I don't like to bake anymore. I just find that, well, unless it's like I'm doing some like intense highlight and I'm using like really heavy creams for like, I don't know, then I would bake. But when it comes to like my everyday look, I don't like to bake. I don't like that look. It makes it very bright. And so yeah, I just go over the concealer again to get rid of the creasing. And then I just go in like that, and just kind of sweep that over or tap that in. And I like to do that on the side of my nose as well, since my nose does get quite oily. So next, to set the contour, I actually don't like to use like a brown powder. I was using CoverGirl's eye enhancer in the shade, I believe it was, yeah, brown smolder, but I like the more warm look, so I actually like to set my contour. And this is what I like to do for an everyday look. Instead of putting like a brown contour over top of my the Sephora concealer, I like to use a blush by MAC in the color Film Noir. It's like a dark burgundy color. So this kind of is like I'm bronzing out my face slash contouring. So I just take quite a lot of it actually, and I just kind of go over like the contour and kind of put it on as blush as well. So yeah, contouring is not really my thing anymore. I prefer to bronze out my face and highlight. If you guys have any suggestions on like bronzers out there that could work for dark skin, just let me know. A little bit everywhere. But I do like to contour my nose with the brown powder first, just because you don't want your nose to look too red. So I like to go in with a brown powder, and usually any dark brown powder would work for me, but not too dark. But I like to go in with this dark brown shade right here from the Morphe 350 matte palette. Just like take a little bit, and this blending brush by Morphe as well. So I'm happy with that, and I will take a little bit of this as well, help blend out that dark brown. And next I like to go in with highlighter, but I like to use this shade right here from the BH Cosmetics Glamourous blush palette. It's like a bronzer slash highlighter. For an everyday look, I don't like to really use too much, so I'm going to go in with my contour brush by Real Techniques. I'm just going to dab that in and then just put it where most people put their highlights. Forehead as well. Since I don't on a regular basis do my eyes during the week, I'll just use highlighter instead, and I'll put that in my tear duct. I'm just kind of like in the center of my eyes, and I feel like just by doing that it makes it look like I did a whole bunch, but I really didn't. Yeah, and I'm just gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup, and I'll come right back. Alright, so this is my finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment if you have any suggestions or requests that you'd like to see me do. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. I hope you're ready, cause it's only food.